Alright, boys and girls, we're going to start this project step by step here. Foreground, middle ground, background in a fall picture. I'm grabbing a piece of paper. This one I might make in this direction so I can fit a little more in it. Alright, I'm going to start with my background. Maybe some hills. And a sun setting. I'm drawing it kind of in a dark marker. You don't have to. You can use materials that you have at home. I'd like to put a little clouds in the sky. This one's going off the page. You can see that. And maybe way back here you can see a fence in someone's yard and a couple more clouds. If there was a tree back here, it would be really tiny. Okay, and here I'm going to set up the foreground. This time I think I'm going to make it straight, like a little sidewalk. So I'm just going to use another drawing to make a straight line. And maybe on the sidewalk I'll have maybe like a little raccoon standing or something. There's a nice way to use a straight edge and make a straight edge when you don't have a ruler. And right here I'm going to add a little critter. This little critter is going to be, actually I decided on a squirrel. And he is being very careful not to get hurt. And this road here, maybe he saw something fall and he's catching it. I could have like the ridge of a sidewalk. So it's a little harder to draw it by hand to get straight, but doing something on hand, it's nice. Doesn't have to be perfect. And now I'm going to start setting up my tree. And for this I'm going to introduce my marker because I think it's a nice way to make a tree. You can also use pencil. But I'm going to use marker or crayon. Either way. I just want you to be able to see it. Okay, so I'm going to have a tree here. Not exactly in the center. Maybe a little off center. And I'm just going to draw 2 lines down for the trunk. And then I can fill it in nicely. And the trunk, it's obviously the largest part of the tree. And here are the roots showing at the bottom, and I'm just sort of zigzagging around. Now I can't have it just hanging out in space here. I've got to draw the ground too, but I'll get to that because I want to get my tree in here first. I'm kind of unhappy with the shape of this side, but you know, trees at the bottom always look a little jagged and strange. Alright, so you can sort of divide with lines like such, like V shape maybe. A couple V's or a couple lines. And I think that's given me plenty of space to make branches. These are kind of nicely simplified branches because trees are very complicated. You'd take a long time to do all the branches of a tree. So now I'm just filling them in. Filling them in. And then I'm slowly adding more. And I don't want them so thin that they look like they'd fall down. I want this to be kind of a mighty looking tree. And you can have more branches shooting out. Thicken up your lines. And some space for some little critters to sit. And here you go. You can add little branches as you go up. Smaller, 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 smaller. And soon after these landscape drawings, we will learn some perspective tricks for making things look like they are in space, going back into space. All right, here's some branches. I also want to have the middle ground, so maybe I'll make this a little hillier. So now I have a sidewalk here, a little hill here. I could have more hills here, or I could have another street in the back. It just depends on how you want to set it up. And now I think I might start adding some leaves. You can do individual leaves, which is quite lovely. You could do shapes of leaves. I've done that too. I don't know, it just depends on what you feel like doing and how you like to draw. Now, the tricky part about this is trying to get color in this entire picture. All right. I think I might add another tree back here, but when it's farther away, I'm going to put another line here and softly continue. When it's farther away, it's smaller. So this tree is farther away, so it's going to be smaller. It appears to be smaller when you're looking at it. And here's the trunk of my tree. Here's the trunk. And here are my branches. And you can kind of go have some fun with this. Crisscross lines. Connect to the bottom and add your branches. All right. And you can make pretty complicated looking landscapes by just following those three concepts: foreground, middle ground, background. And remember, the sky always meets the ground, or the objects around it on the ground. Like, let's say back here, maybe this is a fence line, or maybe it's just a wild field, but you could have little trees back here, maybe some pine trees way in the background. And then the sky goes around everything. I'm going to make this a night sky. I'd have to add all my leaves. This is going to take me a while, so I don't think I'm going to have, you see, it's in its entirety and completely. I have a lot to color in now. And I think I'm making my sky kind of a warmer sky with some fall colors. Pinks and reds and orange. And this is going to be, or maybe that morning sky. I'll have to see what I think when I have it filled in. You don't have to color very dark. Ooh, I like that pink. Now this reminds me of evening. Now the trees are going to be greenish, but they might be greenish gray, you know, back here, so far away. And I'm trying to kind of blend colors here, so I'm trying to go really softly. I can go right over those trees if I go light enough. Maybe a little orange. Oh, that's nice. And to yellow. Now the evening, see how I'm going over the edge? I always have like a piece of paper underneath. In the evening, the clouds also have a beautiful color. Sometimes they're this purpley color. Here we go. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's evening sky. Just a couple simple tools. Ooh. Right, boys and girls, I'm going to finish this on my own. I'd like you to start yours, and I'll show it to you later. Thank you. I have a long way to go, but I'm going to finish it.